All right, all right, all right. Welcome, friends. Welcome to our first episode of just
Pew,
kicking it
pew,
back.
pew, pew, pew.
Yes, the pew, 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 pew. This is open canvas, just after chat. We just kind of want to discuss about some things that are going on. This is our first installment of that, and we decide to spend this after chat talking about the movie Soul.
Soul, new on Disney Plus.
Yes, yes, please go peep it out. Please go peep it out. Now, before we get into our discussion about it, I just want to give a brief synopsis about the movie, and that is it revolves around the character Joe. Joe is a middle school band teacher whose life isn't quite gone the way that he expected. His true passion is jazz, and you hear that a lot within the movie with the jazz undertones and the background music of it all. It's pretty great. And he's really good at his music. But when he travels to another realm to help someone find their passion, he soon discovers what it means to have soul.
That
I
is the
ready.
Vegas plot summary. If I read that plot summary before I watched the movie, I would have been very led astray.
I mean, it's Disney. Like, how real do you expect them to keep it with you? It's not gonna be like, yo, son, you need to go see this movie because horns be blowing everywhere, people
Something,
be
but
debating stuff.
my goodness. But okay, tell them the real. Why are we having this discussion today?
So we're having this discussion because after the movie came out, there's been reviews and people are having mixed emotions about it. I have my thoughts. C-Lane has his thoughts, and we're here to share those thoughts with you. If you have your thoughts, please share them in the comments below. We would love to hear your feedback about the movie. Yes, you already know. Hit it up, message it, let us know. Um, Before I get into that, obviously, spoiler alert, we're going to be ruining some things about the movie. You've been warned in the text on the contents below that C-Lane is putting with this video. I just told you, so you decide to further watch this. It's on you, friends, and I'm sorry. So C-Lane, I would love to hear your thoughts.
Oh my goodness. Okay. First of all, I thought just like the synopsis, jazz, black jazz player, gonna find his artistry. Oh, this is a good movie. Then the man turns into a blue blob. Okay? And keep in mind there's no lead up to this, so I wasn't expecting it, but I still went with the flow. I still
C-Lane,
went with the flow.
I love this. I feel like you revved up and got to the end
He
about your
turned into
thoughts.
a he turned into a blue blob in the first like 15 minutes.
You're
Okay?
right. No, he does. He does. But like, okay, while the music was happening, were you at least like in the beginning? Were you at least
Oh
enjoying the
yes,
movie?
I was enjoying the movie. I
Let's
was
get some.
like, "Ooh,
There
this
we
is gonna
go.
be good. This is gonna be good." Then he falls into a sewer, right? And he turns into a whole blue blob. Okay, he falls into the sewer and turns into a blue blob. Who is looking for like his soul and trying to avoid death and wants to go back to his body. Okay, we get it. Here's the thing. Then he turned into a cat when he went to Earth, right? And now I'm simplifying it. Sure, there was some story element to this, but the man turned into a cat. And a lot of people had their problems with the cat because of racial issues, because he goes into a cat, black man goes into the cat, white woman goes into the black man. Okay, problematic. My issue was that he went into the cat. It was after I just finished watching The Witches where this black boy turns into a rat. Okay? So we are just hairy rodents that just get why pick the hairy rodent is where I'm at. Okay?
Okay.
That's just where
Correction.
I'm at. A cat is not a rodent, it's a feline. Okay, whatever. It's a hairy animal that ain't a human. Okay?
So
Um
you would have chose if he got placed to another body.
another body. It would have been so much more compelling. But don't turn the person into a rat. And I don't care if this was a white person, I would still have a problem with you turning the person into a rat, a cat. because I'm like, you've lost out on some of my connection to the story, because then my logical brain is like, wait, I no longer believe it. I just no longer believe it. And I was that kind of kid too. I was like, if you can't sell me, you're not connecting the dots. You're losing out on some dots. Once you turn a human into a cat, and the human can hear the cat, but the cat can't, the other people can't hear the cat. And then there's one part where the cat is talking as him, and then he in his body starts talking as himself when he's talking to his mother, and then he goes back to being the white woman. I was like, all right,
Yeah, that is that part.
I'm confused.
Well,
I'm officially
no.
confused.
When he was with his mother, wasn't the cat talking to his body to say what he needed to say to his mom?
Exactly. And then it just switched, and he started talking as himself. He started talk. His voice was coming
Yeah.
from himself. I was like, all right, I see what y'all tried to do, be all sentimental, but come on. You didn't have to turn the black man into a cat. That's all I'm saying. Brodie, what's your viewpoint?
Well,
I thought the soundtrack was great.
as
The
you see,
soundtrack was
C-Lane
good.
plays no games when it comes to his critiques about movies. He went in for the kill. um, before before I slay, I would like to at least talk about some things that I enjoyed about it. Yes, I love the jazz aspect of it. I thought it was lovely. I love movies or films that are based in New York and it has like that old school like jazz feel to it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I enjoyed the series. She's Gotta Have It because the music is just it's beautiful. It's like I don't know. I feel like jazz music is the best way to describe New York.
Mm.
You know, it's smooth but busy at the same time. It has a groove to it. Every instrument has a purpose and it's going somewhere. And I just really love that. And that's one of the things I feel like helped with create the world of soul. Um, so obviously I have a problem with the fact that again, even though this was a movie that was centered around a black character, we didn't really get a black character. Whereas the first 15 minutes he dies and he's turned into like this blue protoplasmic blob and he's in this he's what I kind of see as purgatory. I know it was like an in between. He wasn't necessarily dead yet, but he wasn't alive, and he was kind of in the same space where there was new life that was coming through and then there were lost souls. I wish there was more order within whatever realm that was, because to me it was just kind of all over
It
the
was
place.
chaos. It was chaos. We were in a ether. We were in a pink blob place. We were in a blue blob place. We were
Yeah.
in a filing cabinet that never ended.
Yeah, so I wish there was some ordinance to that. I mean, I understand like we're all speaking about the perspective of death from the living perspective, but I feel like we could have like Disney could have done just could have sharpened it a little bit better. And I'm gonna get to the juicy part, the reason why we're here about the controversy about him being a black character, but not really. Um, yeah, I just feel like that could have been sharpened up a little bit more for me. There was a lot of loose ends with that. Um, getting to your topic about the cat, I do find it weird that if there were no animal souls where they were at, how does a soul go into an animal? I just didn't understand that. Like, if there were no dogs barking around souls or anything like that, how did the confusion, how did the mix up happen? That was one thing I was like, okay, weird. And I kind of felt like the ending was very lackluster. I didn't really get the motivation that everyone else got, where it was just like, just live life. Does have to live life to a purpose? But I was like,
I didn't
I
either. I had some real questions. I was like, your wait, so your purpose is to? I was confused, but we ain't even gonna get into that, because
you're
that is
right.
that's a longer discussion. Now let's get to the meat. What
You're
did you
right.
think
So the
about the race
meat,
element?
the race element of it all. I mean, we've seen it with Princess and the Frog, and now we're seeing it again with this movie, and it's just like, but also I feel like there's more insult to injury because not only was this character not able to live within their black skin throughout the movie, but then you then swap them out and put a white woman to play this black man more, in my opinion, longer than he played himself. And it's just like
So
ah.
would you have rather it been would would you have rather would you have had any qualms had it been a white person in a white person's body, or a black person took a black woman took over the black man's body? Is it just the
Here's what I think was
combination?
problematic about it for me is the fact that black bodies have a history of being owned by white people.
Ooh.
So to yeah, right, to see this kind of manifest in a way again, and to also see that not only was it his body first, but she did not want to give it up. And I get it. I understand. Like
Mm.
she got a taste of life, and it was beautiful. But
And
she didn't even take into consideration.
did the white woman give his life purpose?
Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. She dropped some gems. I'm not gonna lie.
She
I was like,
did.
if I'm gonna be honest, the barbershop scene is my favorite
Yes,
scene
yes.
throughout the whole movie. For
Barbershop scene was
one,
great.
they got the aspect of barbershop talk in black communities. They got it down to a science. You have that one barber who listens to everyone, is very open, and he always has someone in his chair.
Yeah.
And then you have that one person that always come through, and either they're an elder or a youngster, either an elder that drops all the wisdom in the room, and you give them much
Mm-hmm.
respect. It was down to a science. I love that. I really did appreciate the fact that we're finding ways to normalizing black culture within the American film to an extent. I say to an extent because at the end of the day, I just talked about how this white woman was able to take over this man's body and be him the full
Yeah,
time.
there were some
And
good
granted,
things. There were some good things.
there were some good things. And granted, since they are this blue blobs, technically they're not a race, and people can probably argue that. But we all know Tina Fey's voice. And the thing is, you hype this movie about Jamie Foxx playing this first black lead Disney Pixar character, but he was a blob majority of it. He was a blob. In fact, y'all wanted to instill in us that this man was so jazz oriented that even his blue blob had a fedora. He didn't have no race, right? Smooth the whole time, fedora
The
glasses, but no race.
fedora.
And I get it. Of course, kids probably won't think that in depth into it, but it's
So
just
let me ask you this: how would you adjust the movie?
how would I adjust the movie? Um, if we're going to make it to where Tina Fey took over his body and his body got swapped for something else, I agree. A cat, like I kind of felt like it was. I don't know. It kind of gave me like a Pokemon vibe, where it's like this human's talking to this animal and they communicate with them because they have a relationship, but no one else can understand them, type of thing. Sure, whatever. I think it was kind of an easy cop out. One, I really don't know how to even address that. I
Mm.
think me personally, it just would have been great for. I knew he was gonna die. I just didn't know how he was gonna get back to himself, or if he was. But like I would have loved to have more like maybe flashback scenes of him in his work or him in his heyday.
Mm.
Um, because like even when he gets back into his body and he ends up performing with Angela Bassett's band, I don't know her character. I can't remember her character was in the movie. Um, it was great, but literally that conversation she has with him at the end
Mm.
deflated the whole thing for me. Like, why did it stop? Why did his soul or his ability to get to his soul or to his love, his passion, why did it stop after one night of playing in a jazz joint? Like, why did he go on to
Yeah.
travel? Why did he go like it was like again,
And these are some good questions.
these are like again, you stifled the possibilities. How is it that you have this if we're going to go down the Disney Pixar lineage, if we look at the movie Up, we had a man who tied hundreds of balloons to a house, flew him to somewhere random where he found this crazy bird that they named Kevin with this Boy Scout of his and a dog with a talking thing on his throat. and some aliens. We can conjure up all this, but when it comes to this movie, we can't even think about this man going past a jazz joint.
Mm.
So like I don't know. I just feel like again there was stifled,
Yeah.
stifled.
Yeah.
You know, and I just kind of feel like as
Mm.
we see in daily life, the black experience is stifled enough. And this is the one place where we can be imaginative, we
Mm.
can expand, we can grow, and
Mm.
yet we still are the first person to die in the movie,
Dang.
and we still aren't getting anywhere.
Oh. Yeah, that's tough. Well, look, y'all, if y'all haven't seen the movie, check out the movie. It is a good conversation starter with friends and your social
As you see,
networks. And let us know what you think. Brody, I think you brought up some great stuff about white people wanting to own black people and this being a imaginative portrayal of that. I haven't thought about it in that way. And that
my
does
mind is
present
out
some
there.
problems. So yeah, that's our opinion. Watch it for yourself. Definitely let us know what you think. Hit us up in the comments. We are open canvas live. And as always, we want you to stay safe, be sane, and
And sanitized.
sanitized.
Peace.
Love y'all.